Hey, what's happening? One SirJames coming at you guys with another video. Hopefully you guys have been having a good time thus far. As for me, I'm super exhausted. I've been working a lot of overtime hours and I need a break, but I'm not really complaining because that's extra money in my paycheck at the end of the day, so it is what it is. But I will be taking it easy for the next 2 days because I won't be uploading any videos. But if there's anything that pops up as far as gaming content goes, then I will for sure. But as far as Star Wars videos, again, for the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday, there won't be anything unless if this video gets uploaded late, then that's the only exception. But I wanted to go ahead and go over 3 things in today's video. The first one is to share with you guys what my plan is as far as merchandise that I want to get day 1 when I go this weekend. The second thing is to go over my attack plan and of course some extra items like if I plan on getting any food or drinks and whatnot. And of course the third thing is of course to go over some extra tips for you guys. So if you have yet to go during your reservation period, then hopefully these tips are useful for you. So let's go ahead and start with the merch. As you guys know, the line has a ton of it because it's mostly filled with shops. There's a couple of different eating locations. There's currently only one ride available until probably later on this year. And of course you have the overall immersive experience in the land itself to explore. So it's still quite a bit of things to do for sure. But if you're a Star Wars fan and you have money to spend, this could also be quite deadly for you. So I'm going to be setting myself with a limit. I don't know the price tag, but I'm not spending over 1,000 for sure. It's probably going to be under 700 definitely. But my number one item is of course a lightsaber. Not a legacy lightsaber, but one from Savi's workshop, the one that you get to build and everything, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I haven't watched anyone's videos for it. I've seen people's builds afterwards, but I have yet to see what the experience looks like. I am savoring that for the moment that I go. What I want to try to do is, because it's going to be really hard for me to like record and enjoy my time doing that because I don't have anyone to record for me, but what I may do is I'll try to bring this camera mounts and of course a little tripod, so during the process of when the parts are handed to me and I'm building, you guys will hopefully get the chance to see my reaction when I'm doing my review of it. But I'm just currently trying to piece things together as I go along for the next 2 days. The second item is of course right next door, which is Doc Ondar's Den, where they have a lot of really cool collectibles, and that's where you can also find the legacy sabers. But the items there in which has my initial interest for a day 1 purchase is of course both a Jedi and Sith holocron. Along with that is one of each Kyber crystal for the containers. Now there's one exception to this rule, is that there is also a hidden black Kyber crystal which can be found in the red canisters. However, there is a cheat method that you can do to try to find it. Honestly, if I get the black one by a random luck, cool. If not, no big deal. I personally want a red Kyber crystal more than anything. I don't really care for the black one at this point in time, because there's going to be a lot of characters to collect, because you know each Kyber crystal has their own character depending on color. Like for example, for the red one, you either have Sidious, Darth Vader, Darth Maul. I'm hoping I get Maul or Vader, one of those 2 options. But I'm super stoked about these because the holocron is probably one of my personal favorites next to the saber. The item after that, which there's a plane overhead, I don't know if you guys can hear that. But the other item after that is of course the lightsaber belt clip, which could be utilized for both styles of the saber. So if you got the one with the black nub in the corner, I can hold that into place, or if you got the one with the D-ring, it'll be also supported with that. Afterwards, I also plan to go to the Black Spire Outfitters to obtain a Jedi cloak and of course a Jedi belt. And I will be reviewing these items, by the way, so if you guys are kind of curious, am I going to have videos on these products? Am I going to showcase it here for you guys to see? The answer is yes. More than likely what's going to happen is that the Jedi tunic belts with the belt clip will have at its own separate video, but I'll showcase it in the haul that I do, hopefully Saturday when I get back. And then of course the holocrons with the crystals will be in its own separate video, but I'll be showcasing a small demo when I do the haul video, things of that nature, so hopefully you guys get a better understanding. Now, you probably noticed that I didn't mention a Jedi cloak. Now, after seeing the images and a couple of video clips, I am not too sure about the cloak. Something about it is just kind of off-putting for me, but when I get the chance to go to the land, I'm going to get a closer look at it. If I see elements that I think are great, then I'll probably make that initial purchase. But if I still have that uneasy feeling, then more than likely it's not going to happen, and I'll probably go with an alternate option by getting a cloak through like Etsy, for example. Plus, I'm going to have to get other parts anyways because they don't sell the pants, the undershirt, and things like that. So you're going to have to add elements to it in order to complete the Jedi or Sith, depending on which pathway you choose. There's also a couple different pins on my to-buy list. One is located in the Resistance camp, and of course the other one is located in the First Order cargo bay. You guys know which one it is because I have the images on screen for you guys to check out. Then of course I also have a maybe list. These are things that I'm not quite sure if I'll get day one, and all depends on if, let's say, there's an item on my main list that for whatever reason is sold out, then it'll be replaced with one of the maybe items. And these maybe items consist of the following. We have the Imperial jumpsuits, which is only $100. It looks great from the photos, but I need a closer inspection as far as the fabric and the material goes. The other item that's also considered a maybe is the Jedi, not the Jedi, but the, what is it, the Padawan hair braid that we've seen. That one's like only $10. I need to get a closer look on how that attached, because if it's really a giant clip, I'm probably not going to get it, because as you can tell, I keep my hair on the short side, and I don't know how I'll be able to utilize that anyways with the Jedi costume, to be quite honest. The other one that's a maybe is that there is a backpack in the Resistance camp, which I think I mentioned that. I feel like I'm repeating myself because it's like really hot in this room right now. And I think that's really it for the maybe pile. There was one that I had initially, which was the Sith obelisk, which looked really cool, but I saw someone post a video, I mean not video, but a photo of it finally, and the thing is only like 10 inches tall. I mean, it lights up, it looks cool, but it's $60, and I don't know if I could justify that price tag. But we'll see. Again, it's in the maybe section, not 100% certain, but that pretty much takes care of the merchandise. Next up is my plan of attack. My plan of attack is once I get to the park in the morning, since I have the 11 a.m. slot, is to check in over in the launch bay early. And of course, to try to line up as early as possible. I know they're not going to allow me to line up very early on, because usually they'll allow people to start lining up probably about 30 minutes prior to your start time. But I'm going to be hanging around the area because my main objective is to try to be one of the first people within my initial group to get in and make my way straight to Savi's workshop. As much as I want to look around and explore, my plan of attack, straight to Savi's workshop, no distractions. Afterwards, do my initial shopping. Once that's completed, then of course I'm going to immerse myself and explore the land, see all the details and Easter eggs and all the other hidden features. I also want to get the opportunity to try out the blue milk. I don't know if I'll try out the green milk. It's not really milk, it's more of a smoothie type drink anyways. But definitely the blue milk for sure. And then I may try out the kettle popcorn. That's a bit pricey because it's a small bag apparently, but the flavor is spicy and sweet. So, I mean, I may not be big in the kettle corn, but I'm willing to try some new things. There's nothing really in the cantina that is offering me as far as drinks go for both alcohol and non-alcohol. I mean, I'm 29 years old, so I could drink alcohol if I want to. I just choose not to. But yeah, there's nothing really in the cantina that interests me, but I do want to check it out for myself and see the inside if that's a possibility, which I doubt from what I've been hearing. And pretty much go from there, and hopefully within the last hour and a half, go on Smuggler's Run. The first attempt is to go in the main queue line, because I've heard there's a bunch of really cool stuff to look at, similar to how the queue line is for Indiana Jones. And then afterwards to try out the single rider portion and to see where that takes us. You know, is the queue going to be as, you know, interactive, or is it going to be pretty plain, just kind of walk up to the front type situation? But whatever it is that I don't get to do in the 4-hour span time, of course, I will make up for it hopefully later on this month after the reservation period is over, because by then there will be no time limit, thankfully. And of course, last but not least is, of course, give you guys some tips for your reservation period. If you guys didn't know, you're able to check in 2 hours in advance, and you'll be checking in over at the Star Wars launch bay. So if you have the 8 a.m. slot, you could check in as early as 6 a.m. And yes, they will let you in the park to do so. So again, keep that in mind. So whatever reservation time you have, check in as early as possible. Tip number 2 is to start lining up as early as possible. Again, while I'm waiting there, again, about a couple hours before we could start initially lining up, my mom and my baby brother, they're going to go and have fun and enjoy the park until our time comes up. But for me, my plan of attack, again, is to try to be the first person in, because once you do so, you'll have a better opportunity to either get to the cantina and be able to get in, or Savi's workshop, because those are going to be the 2 locations that are going to be super busy. If you miss out on your opportunity, then there's a chance that you may not be able to experience that within, of course, your time limit. Though I have heard that they've been making some changes for the Cantina, so you might have a better chance for that one initially. And of course, if you want to go on the Smuggler's Run ride, a lot of people head to that one first as well. Wait until like your third or fourth hour, depending on what kind of queue you're looking at, because I heard that within that time frame, the line will drop down from like an hour and a half wait to like 20-30 minutes, and that will be the perfect time to go on it. And if you enjoy it, then hopefully you'll have time to go on it a second time. As far as everything else, shops go, a lot to explore. I've heard certain things that the Legacy Sabers have been selling out, but they've been restocking. They apparently from what I'm hearing, they're issuing a certain amount of stock per group, which is a bit odd. I feel like they shouldn't be doing that. They should have a limited supply, but I do know they are limited, not limited, but they are limiting items that you purchase. So meaning that if you're going in for Kyber crystals and you expect to buy 5 red Kyber crystals, they're only going to allow you to buy 1, but you can buy 1 of each color. So keep that in mind. For the Legacy Sabers, if you expect to buy 2 of Luke's Legacy Saber, you're only allowed to buy 1. There are certain exceptions to this, like Asajj Ventress, Darth Maul, and I think that's it as far as what you could buy multiples of, because those could actually connect together for those of you who don't know. And what else? I think those were the main ones. I heard at one point, and I've only heard this once, where supposedly like the red Kyber crystals sold out, which is pretty crazy to think about. And I think that's really about it. So like I said, mostly give the chance to get your shopping done that you really want to do first. Head there first, enjoy the land, and hopefully you get the chance to have fun. But like I said, this weekend, after I get to go, I'll be doing a haul video. I'll have separate videos to go over all the features with the holocrons, and of course the same thing for my lightsaber from Sabi's workshop, and of course one based off the costuming as well. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below, and if there's anything that I have yet to cover or you want to see videos or coverage of, also let me know in the comment section down below. And of course I'll try to film when I do my taste test for the blue milk, and the same thing for the kettle corn. But until then, I'll see you guys this weekend, and you guys have fun.